Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Christine Marie Valenti of Conversion Perspectives by Valenti Associates. This is video 2 of introduction of who I am and the company Conversion Perspectives by Valenti Associates and what it is that, what is my intent, how am I going to help others as far as mentoring and guiding and what do I bring to the table and why is it relevant to you? What do I have to offer to help you? So as I have been through academics and received my AA in social and behavioral sciences, my BA in liberal studies, the art of teaching, and then it's a natural science concentration and then a biological science minor at this point. This is 2017. I am 53 years old. And my previous video gave you a bit of synopsis of the history of who I am and what I've been through, all the adversities that I've been through. And that adversity, it's as I'm learning and redeveloping myself and finally able to use personal development to develop myself and be able to begin to have a voice. And as I was going through my academic process, I discovered that President Shelley at the time, president of CSU Stanislaus, recognized me and I received the outstanding, it's the Student Writer Excellence Award and Scholarship in 2016 prior to him leaving the presidency of the University, or the CSU Stanislaus. So I'm going to read this to you so that you can, because it gets emotional for me, and so that you can see where I come from. And so this is, I was acknowledged for reaching out and helping students. And I talked previously in the previous video about helping college students while I was there in the Stanislaus. Guiding them, developing. We had in, chemistry and bio and different classes, pulling together students and getting study teams together and teaching them how I use the index cards, writing down every day of the week what was due and when those assignments were due. I was very proud of my 3.6 GPA. I graduated cum laude. And to do this at 53, to go to college for the first time at this age, to excel at it, to finally start to begin to develop me and dig myself out of the mess that I had been in after losing everything and ending up at rock bottom, and to finally start to build myself up. And so learning that I love science. And so that's, there's several people that I follow. And I have my YouTube channel set up and just starting to make the videos as I'm learning to get more comfortable and get my confidence back. My self-confidence and my self-esteem tanked when everything tanked, rock bottom. And so this process of overcoming my fear and using it as a tool to propel forward and to start having a voice and finding that there is a niche for me that, I began by helping students of diversity coming out of low SES, social economic status, teaching them that it was through academics that they would have to educate their mind was their vehicle to get out of that situation and to move forward in life and to start climbing out of that status and moving forward to a higher bracket. To a better quality of life. And so I'm going to read this to you. I was acknowledged by the campus for this by President Shelley, and it made huge impacts as far as talking with students and helping them to impoverished students coming out of the apartments where I was. Teaching them to, how to do the FOSFA, how to do the grants, how to write the essays to get those scholarships, and how to go ahead and apply to college. I've sat down with so many students from those apartments and sitting down with them, some that had come fresh from India within a year and trying to work through that language barrier. I've helping them to apply for college and to get accepted and move forward and seeing them thriving. Students that have come here from Assyrian language, but from Iran, and helping them to move forward. Hispanic, first generation. I myself, I identify myself as far as Italian. I don't know much of my family history, other than what was on the birth certificate, and understanding that I am Italian, and I identify with Mediterranean, that culture feels a fit for me and what I identify with. So, I don't know where home is. I don't, as I'm building myself up, my goals, long range, are to, at some point, buy a large, massive property. And my goal with that is to have a home personally and have land somewhere. I don't like houses compacted next to each other. I love the San Diego area, Rancho Penasquitos, Terra Santa, all of that north of 8. I don't like all of the congestion and things in San Diego. The ocean, the water is calming, peaceful, harmony to me. Color is life. I love trees and all of that. So that North 8 side I love. I love the fact that it's not extreme cold, it's not extreme hot. So I would like to locate, at this point, that's where I believe that I will locate as I build myself up. I was accepted to University of San Diego, and I was supposed to have started there in August, and went out, spent the summer trying to find a place that I could afford to locate in, and oh my gosh, things are like double out there. The cost factor of living, and for what I could afford, living in the ghetto was absolutely out of the question. I have a young son, 12 years old. I want to give him the best education possible. I had him homeschooled for the first few years of life, and then public school next to the university, or the school, CSU, where I was going, and he's now in a charter school. And so that's very important. So we've opted to stay in the Stanislaus area for now, and until he finishes middle school, and while I'm upward climb. So we have left the apartments behind. That's finally done. We have moved up to a duplex, and on the upward spiral, just starting to climb out of the mess. So I was acknowledged. So with all of that said, I've been working on personal development, working on academics to educate myself. I have been recognized for by the Chicano studies and ethnic studies. I have excelled in psychology and sciences, and all of the child development courses I have taken have helped me personally to put all of the things that have happened in my life into proper perspective, and to be able to utilize what I was learning, apply it to myself, start healing, and start moving forward. And also, as too far as I have donated, volunteered, donated, however we want to term this, more than 300 hours in elementary school. I have worked as a free internship in the Turlock Junior High School there in a science classroom. And so a lot of volunteerism. I have worked with and provided food and clothing. The clothing from when I was slender, sitting there on the shelves, wasn't doing me any good, sitting there for all these years. As a way to turn to reach out and to help the homeless. I'm in an area now that is close to a golf course, and but there's still, we've all seen it, all of the homeless that's around us, and especially as the cold weather is setting in. I feel for them. I have been humbled and gone through such adversity, and to end up on food stamps, and getting the medical the Medi-Cal for my son, and Section 8 housing assistance, and all of that, and being in food lines, and obtaining clothing through that one time a month help assistance. I feel for them, and there are so many people now that are affected, and it's far-reaching, even extended family members. So I took it upon myself, as far as this dream building program that I was referencing in video one. This is the game changer for me. This is one of those aha moments. This is one that, as I told you, I had no intention of launching another company. I was full force into academics, and was accepted to University of San Diego for the credentialing program and master's program cohort. And for lack of finding reasonable housing, I had to let them know that I would not be attending this past semester. And so that's where I'm at right now, and starting the dream building program. Basically, it's teaching me that I'm trying to realize what my paradigms were, shifting those thought perspectives, learning how to feel worthy, learning to have that sense of deserving, that I am worthy of my dream and what I want, and to go after it and to take action steps. The sense of deserving was in week 3. Befriending your fear. I was crippled by fear because of that overwhelming sense of betrayal and just rejection, that I plummeted to a spot I had never been before. And do I feel like I was depressed? No, I never felt depressed, but I allowed the situation. I never felt good enough. I never felt I never had my answers. I couldn't move forward because I couldn't get my answers, and I just withdrew. I threw myself, I was in survival mode, that scarcity mode. I threw myself into academics. I applied 100%, so I was full-time mom, single mom, full-time college student, and that's all I did. School and son, that's it. Everything that I had financially went into paying the bills and taking care of Jonathan's needs. Myself went to the back burner. I began not taking care of myself. I began gaining weight, as I described to you in the first video. Coming up from 140 pounds, 148, climbing up, and this was after my pregnancy, so climbing up to 170, being told by a doctor that you're now obese, and hitting right 200 pounds, okay? I've tried weight loss coffee, I've tried changing my eating lifestyle. My dear friend Becky, and dear friend is an enduring term because she is more than a friend to me. She started as a client and moved forward to friend. She is my sister, my chosen sister, confidant, she's best friend, everything. Becky has been on a search. We've tried nutrition because she's a nutritionalist. We've tried, increasing the activity level, and I have a lot more exercise to do to get more active, to get this mess off. I want to be here to begin to escalate, to get to a level and to thrive and have that quality of life. I want to feel that sense of success again. I know what it is to feel it. I know what I felt like before, but I want to have that in all of my, all the quadrants of life. I want to feel healthy and whole and be able to really experience life. So I have lots of experiences to bring to the table to share. I've been successful. I've had businesses and that were successful. I've plummeted to rock bottom. I have that to share with you as far as the paradigms and holding down and how to work through those blocks and come forward. The act of forgiveness is huge for me. Huge. That was a major turning point. So learning, having the hope to dream again and to launch the CP logo for conversion perspectives, and to dare to dream that I have the ability to build a business up again and to thrive, and that I have a voice to share with you and something that is relevant to your lives and to help you work through some of the issues that I've had to go through, and all of the motivational training and self-development training that I've gone through, and taking all of that to help you. With Mary Morrissey's Dream Builder program, you learn how to have that sense of deserving. You learn to build your dream. You learn to befriend your fear and use it as a stepping stone, and don't let it cripple you. The law of circulation through giving, the importance of giving, and as she'll references as tithing, the old school religious aspects, you learned about tithing and the importance of giving. So whether you believe in tithing or not, it is important to give to our community. It is important to you for you to give. We all live here together. So whether it's impoverished, extended family, whom you choose to help, okay? If you have been graced and blessed to have a life of abundance, you need to give back. You need to help others, whether that's by using your voice, using monetary means. You need to give back. And law of circulation is you to live that life of abundance. You need to give abundantly of yourself, your time, your energy, your money. And so I figured I would practice what I preach. And so helping the homeless here locally, taking foods that I've cooked and taking the food to them, taking clothes that I haven't worn in quite a while, and warm jackets and beanies and socks and things to help them. It made me feel good. It really did make me feel good. And knowing what it's like, I've not been homeless. Don't get me wrong, I have not been homeless. But I have been rock bottom where I had to go and ask for help for Section 8 assistance, partial assist, where they pay for a portion of the rent. I've had to go get food stamps and Medi-Cal, okay? And as I explained in video 1, that to me, that was something I did as a last resort, because to me that was taboo, and that's the word I used, taboo. That was not conceivable. That was for everyone else, how we've always thought, mindset of what we think about people that have to take that kind of assistance, and they abuse the system. It was a vehicle for me to get out from rock bottom, to get educated and start moving forward. So, if I can take it from that extreme level and start propelling myself up, if I can do that, you can do it. No matter what level you are at. If I can start college in my 40s and at 53 graduate with the BA degree at cum laude with 3.6 GPA and go through all of the algebra and the sciences, if I can do that at my age, any of you, young students or whoever you are at your age, can do this, okay? All it is to believe in yourself. Anything is possible if you only believe in yourself. And the major turning point for me, and why I refer Mary Morrissey to you in the Dream Builders program, is because how it has helped transform my life. It is a 12-week program. And step by step by step, you have a coach working with you weekly to move through each of these segments. The forgiveness aspect is huge for me, because it wasn't about forgiving them, forgiving who had done to me a wrong to me. It wasn't about their forgiveness. It was about working through forgiveness to where I could free that block and move forward. It wasn't them that was being hurt. I was hurting myself by holding on to all of the frustration, the unanswered questions, the hurt and the anger, and 13 years of being celibate, being withdrawn, not withdrawn from life, withdrawn from everyone, and just working on survival mode in that scarcity, and just a perpetual cycle of scarcity that I just couldn't get out of. So this, to me, if anyone is going through any of these issues that you've heard me mention that I've gone through, and you just cannot, you hear, I used to listen to the motivational training, John Maxwell, Zig Ziglar, George Zalicki, when I was in a network marketing, George Zalicki, fabulous guy. A lot of different motivational speakers. Until you take it in and apply it, it means nothing. It's just going in and out, in and out. Darren Hardy, I've listened to for years. It's only when you open your mind to the possibilities and you are willing to do the work to work on yourself that you can take that information, put it into action, and move forward. And so right now my main people are Darren Hardy and Mary Morrissey, Bob Proctor. There are many others out there that you'll see in my YouTube channel that I subscribe to, that I listen to, and they motivate me, and I glean little nuggets from each and every one of them. And so it doesn't matter, as I likened Rob Proctor as that positive role model, that father figure that I've never had. and the guidance that he gives in his videos, law of attraction, polarity, where he talks about the negative thoughts in your mind and what we put into our mind. What you put in your mind determines your outcome. So all of those negative thoughts that I was having and holding me back and a fear factor, those negative thoughts bring about fear, anxiety, and toxicity in your body. Where the positive thoughts that we have, and by doing, to change this perspective, to get that out of your head, you have to get the tools. You get the mindset change. You need to get yourself to where I have dream boards on my refrigerator. I have positive word statements on my mirrors everywhere. I mean, reminding me that I have stones with wordings on them. Let's see if I can read to you. Act as if you have already become the person you want to be. With an attitude of gratitude, your good can only increase. These are stones with sayings on them, words on my mirrors. I have done everything possible to put it in front of my face, to feed myself these positive affirmation statements and what have you. It wasn't until I decided to take action and had the right tool. Now, Becky brought this to me, and she is my coach in this program, and this is what it took to change me. This is what it took to start climbing out from the mess. So, Mary Morrissey, I thank you very much. The Dream Builder program is a godsend, and like I said, it's been years, so to try to work through these issues, I didn't have the tools to do that. And this is a tool that I will recommend. She comes from, a religious background. She comes to you and refer you because she aligns with my core values. The integrity is there. The honesty is there. The true willingness to help others is there. And so that's my main tool. And then let me go back now and where I'm getting my voice and my confidence. And President Shelley at the CSU is acknowledging me for helping with students. And this is what I wrote, and this is what I was received my scholarship off of. Okay, so I'm going to read it to you. Your life is branching. So this is to students. Your life is branching in many directions. Undoubtedly, you have many questions about the road ahead. Life is a journey filled with adventures, challenges, and much adversity, all of which teach us lessons. Communicating effectively is the key to success for academic, business, and personal issues. In academic settings, you must be able to make connections to real life experiences and communicate effectively to your teacher that you comprehend the key concepts expressed. In business, you must communicate effectively to your employer, fellow employees, and clientele. Personally, you must be able to communicate effectively to ensure that your ideas are not misconstrued. Communication with intent, that's the key. Communication with intent empowers greatness. This is achieved through the power of written, spoken, and thought processes. Words are powerful tools. They can be used to build you up, to empower, to persuade, to connect. They can be life-changing and inspire. Words can tear you down, cutting to the very core. The greatest potential success in life relies on the writing and speaking with intent. Every word is a powerful tool that is used competently, and effectively. This can evoke greatness. You are the architect of your life. You have the power to build its foundation and the power of choice. Choose to live a purposeful life with intent. Formulate good writing, grammar, and communication skills that will transform your life and lead to greatness. Empower yourself to inspire others through powers of persuasion and thought-provoking arguments based upon critical thinking and research. Life is a journey that you create with intent. Embrace life with a positive attitude and choose empowerment to greatness by becoming articulate. Write with intent and use the power of words to connect, persuade, inform, and inspire. As As an academic assignment at CSU Stanislaus, I was asked to write an expressive and reflective paragraph, decide as a representational mask of my life. This was to be about my childhood and early adult years. As you know, I explained to you how I grew up in a dysfunctional, abusive foster home and had endured a tremendous adversity throughout my life. How was I to describe to a class what I had been through? This seemed to be an overwhelming and daunting task. I chose to conquer my fears and use the powers of words to connect, persuade, inform, and inspire. So this is what I wrote. This is hard, guys. Society looks for outward beauty, aesthetics to please the eye. They know not the inner beauty that daily struggles with turmoil and adversity. They know not They know not how one has been beaten down, robbed of self-esteem, courage, self-confidence, respect, and dignity. The facade is deceiving, depicting what society demands. The inner beauty struggles to be free. The spiritual strength helps to endure, empowering and lifting up. Eggshells are delicate and beautiful, yet can be hideous, controlling, and confining. A new life began only to be thrust into dysfunction, domestic violence, and abuse by those who profess to love. They know not the cost. They know not the longing for freedom, serenity, peace, harmony, friendship, and love. They know not the butterfly cocooning, gaining strength, waiting to emerge healthy, whole, uninhibited, and radiating spectacular beauty. A mask accompanied the reflective paragraph in a monochromatic scheme. That was how I could best describe what had happened and where I was. Dark was representative of the dysfunction, the abuse, and adversity throughout my life at the times that I felt that was overwhelming. I withdrew and I became afraid to trust in others. I was afraid to believe in myself, second-guessing all of my thought processes and actions. I felt violated, vulnerable, weak, and unworthy. These thoughts and behaviors began to interwoven throughout my life, affecting self-esteem, self-confidence. The light tones on the mask represented the cocooning process, the healing, becoming healthy, whole, gaining strength, and development and empowerment received through academics. This was my saving grace. I am now transforming thought, behavioral, and attitude processes. Academics have helped me analyze, heal, and given the necessary tools for success. I now choose to become articulate and use the power of words to connect, persuade, inform, and inspire. Many of you will relate to portions of this and are undergoing overwhelming adversity. You have the power of choice. Choose academics as the mechanism to empower greatness. Good writing skills will play a significant role in your success throughout life. It is a means of expressing oneself to the world. Choose to become articulate and use the power of words to connect, persuade, inform, and inspire. I was acknowledged, or I don't know the proper words, I'm emotional right now. So I received recognition for working with students. And this primarily is geared to students that have gone through this adversities, coming out of impoverished areas, students of minority. So how does this relate to you? There are many of you going through many of these situations. This will relate to you, and if it does relate to you, you can go onto the YouTube channel and see some of the videos as I start making them. You can write in the discussion area there. You can go to the fan page, Conversion Perspectives by Valenti Associates, and private message me if you need some guidance and specific tools that I've used to help to climb up and out of this and start elevating myself up. So I look forward to communicating with you. I've been communicating with people as I see people doing their webinars and their seminars or just videos they put together, and you'll see that the live Facebook where people will be commenting and talking about all the adversity they've gone through life, and I've had fabulous responses to my guidance for some of the people going through that. I hope that helps others and people going through similar situations. So things that I'm doing now, obviously the Dream Builder program, I had done the 12 weeks, and then to build business up, so that gave me the hope and the will, the dedication, believing in myself, that it is possible to move forward and out of this mess, to start to work on the forgiveness aspects, developing a morning routine where practicing gratitude, to being grateful for everything, but gratitude in the I am statements that are so powerful, taking those statements and writing out everything and saying them every day, that I am wanted. So everything I want from my life, bring that to present. Read it to myself every day. I am the architect of my life. So I tell myself where I'm going to live, what my house is. I have my house plans already. I have that all mapped out in the garage. I've taken a whole wall, the house I want, the properties I want. And reason why large spans of property is because my son has requested, that we would like to have 10 acre parcels and have extended family members surrounding us, and to be able to help others. And that is something that we would like to do. We don't want to live where the houses are congested, more country but not so isolated. I want gardens and animals and trees, and I want to really experience life. I want to travel. One of the things, and part of this forgiveness, working with the forgiveness aspect and gratitude is, what are the life lessons, instead of dwelling on what's happened to me and what someone else has done to me, is taking what are the lessons that I've learned from that. To put it all aside, because coming out of that dysfunction, you have to be compassionate, and understanding, and so first and second marriage is to understand that they didn't have the tool set, nor did I, to make a marriage work. Reality, okay? So I am the one that's toxic. They've moved on. My second husband was in a relationship while I was pregnant, so I think that's the reason for his walking out. But they've moved on, and this, has never turned back and never bothered them again. I was the one sitting here in this pain and this frustration and this rejection and not able to move forward. So I knew enough to know that it was up to me to turn my life around. It was up to me to make that change. And no one was going to help me to move forward. I had to do that for myself. I had to find the tools that worked. And